Hi everyone, Niamh here, and today I'm going to go over my progress in Japanese and all the tools and things like that I used in 2023, how it may have helped me to learn Japanese or to start learning Japanese, and go over my goals for 2024 and the tools and applications and things like that I'll be using in 2024. So let's get started. So I wanted to talk about what brought me to learning Japanese. So it's a language that I've kind of always wanted to learn someday. I watch anime and I read manga sometimes, and my family has been to Japan. I have not. I've not been that fortunate. But I grew up in a military family, a Marine Corps family, so I've had lots of friends and family that have gone to Japan, lived there. So it's something that's always sort of interested me. So that's where the interest lies. And but I always felt a little intimidated by it because it is like a completely different writing system, and it just felt a little daunting. And for several years now, I think close to a decade, I've been learning Irish. And I kind of wanted to take a break from that, and it seemed like now was as good a time as any to finally pick up Japanese and start learning it. And I went into it with full force. I really wanted to learn Japanese, so I was very serious about it, and I still am. So that's where it started, and I sort of dipped my toes into it and did a little bit of dabbling here and there in September of 2022, October and November, and then December was when I decided I want to do this for real. I want to be serious about this. I want to learn Japanese. So I think my formal studies, for me, started in January of 2023. So it's been a year now of officially learning Japanese. So that's where it started. So let's talk the JLPT. So I have not taken it yet. I wanted to take it in December of 2023. However, I had a family reunion going on at the same time, so I had to put it off. And when I looked up on the JLPT site about doing it in July of 2024, I realized that for some reason it's not done in the United States in July. It's only in December in the United States for the JLPT. So that means I'm going to have to put it off again, and it's going to be December of 2024. I'm really planning on taking it, and I don't know if I want to do the N5 or the N4, because by then it will have been 2 years of studying Japanese. So maybe I might be ready for the N4. I don't know. That sounds a little scary though, so I don't know. Maybe I'll root for N5, but we'll see. So that is my plan. My plan is, my goal this year is to pass either the N5 or the N4 in December. So so that's JLPT stuff. So let's talk books. The books that I used, the textbooks, things like that, for learning Japanese. So starting off in 2022, when I was still sort of dabbling and trying to figure out if I wanted to actually start learning Japanese, at Barnes & Noble, I grabbed the only thing they had available there, which was Japanese for Dummies. And I wasn't really interested in getting this book, but it was all they had, so I went ahead and got it. And the beginning part was not so bad. The beginning part was fine, and it was informative, and I actually kind of liked it. But very quickly, it just got kind of useless, and there's no hiragana in this. It's all in Romaji, basically, and it got to a point where it was just like lists of words and what, you know, translations and things like that. And very quickly, this book fell out of favor for me. So yeah, so that was the first one. Then I stumbled across a great learning tutorial or learning book series, and also has a YouTube series, and that's the Japanese from Zero, the Japanese from Zero books. And so I started off with the Japanese from Zero 1 book by George Trombley, and I also got the kana from Zero. So I went through and I did all of the kana, and then started working through the Japanese from Zero, and then very quickly moved on to the kanji from Zero, which I loved this book. This was actually a really good book, and I felt like things sort of came together for me with the Japanese from Zero. Yeah, it wasn't too intimidating because, you know, you could go with Genki or Mina no Nihongo, which I also did get. But I found that what was easiest for me was the Japanese from Zero, and I did all of that one and all of Japanese from Zero 2. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that series, and George Trombley also has a YouTube series that was also very helpful. And my husband has started learning Japanese a little bit, mostly just with Duolingo, but I was thinking about sending him George Trombley's Japanese from Zero YouTube videos, because they were a nice introduction and very helpful. So what else I used? I also used I started using Mina no Nihongo about halfway through the year. This was tougher. I found that it was easier to sort of use this one along, like to look through this one while watching the videos by this one YouTuber that I can't remember the name of her channel, but if I remember in editing, I'll put her name on the screen, and if I remember to do this when I upload, I'm going to put like one of those iCards at the top, so that you can go to her channel and watch her videos on going through the Mina no Nihongo. Yeah, so, and that was helpful. I liked watching her videos. Those it helped click for me, and I think I might go through it again some other time. But yeah, so that was Mina no Nihongo. And I also got, this is a great resource. So this is the Shin Nihongo Go Hyakuman, and it is for N4 and N5, and it's basically like three questions. I don't know if you could see, the sun is like right there. Sorry if the light keeps going in and out, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm not like a super great YouTuber. But yeah, so it's got three like fill in the blank type questions, and I did them like 3 questions every day for a while, because I only did the first section, the chapter 1. Yeah, I only did the chapter 1, and I want to kind of go through all of these again and again. Like, so just doing chapter 1 and then chapter 1 again and chapter 1 again. And yeah, so, and I got, these were really hard, like really hard, for me anyway. Yeah, so I usually get like a third of them correct. Okay, so the light keeps going in and out because I'm filming in front of a pretty big window, so I've readjusted the camera, so hopefully this helps a little bit. Anyway, so let's do some of the apps that I use. So of course I use Duolingo, and I know that's a little controversial. I've used it for many years, and I have like nearly a 3,300 day streak, so I'm not giving up Duolingo anytime soon. And I know it's not like the best app for learning a language, but I like it. It's a nice supplement. I enjoy gamified learning. So yeah, so I use Duolingo. Sorry about my dog, if you can hear my dog. I have a dog, so she barks. Anyway, so another app that I used was drops. I used that for a little bit. I liked it, but I didn't stick with it, so I don't use it anymore. And so another one, let's see, I wrote it down. So let's see. Oh, I did Write Japanese, which I only used in the beginning, and that was because it was more for like hiragana. So yeah, so that was very helpful in the beginning, the Write Japanese, for learning the hiragana and katakana. Yeah, so I used that in the beginning, but obviously once I had gotten the kana down, I didn't really need it anymore, so I don't use that one anymore. I also use podcasts, so there's a podcast app that I have, and of course there's Spotify that you can also listen to podcasts on, but there are a few podcasts that I listen to, and if I remember during editing, I'll put the names of the ones that I listen to the most on the screen, and I usually listen to those while I'm cleaning the house, so kind of some multitask things going on there. Yeah, and the kanji app, this is a great one. It's kind of like Write Japanese, except it's for kanji, and I still use this one. I try to remember to do it, so I use this one quite a bit, so the kanji app. And finally, and probably one of my favorites, I use Wanikani, and I now pay for it. So there are a bunch of other apps that I tried, but once I hit the paywall, I stopped using. But Wanikani was the one that, even hitting the paywall, I decided to continue to use it and went ahead. And I just paid month to month. I could have paid a lump sum and saved a little bit, but I decided to just pay month to month. So it's just $10 a month, so it's not that big of a deal. For me, at least, you know, I'm very lucky in life, so I was willing to pay the $10 a month. So yeah, that's all the apps. So some of the active methods that I've been using for 2023, and a lot of these I'm going to continue for 2024. Of course, one of the main ones is my Nihongo no Nikki, and I have a video up right now of me going through like all of the journal entries that I did for 2023. I did a journal entry every single day. Yeah, this was a big endeavor, and I would like to say that I came up with the sentences all on my own every single time, but I really didn't. I used a lot of like dictionary help and a little bit of or a lot of Google Translate. So there was a lot of help that I received doing the journal entries every day, but I really tried, and it was a feat in and of itself to do journal entries every day. Yeah, and we got a visit from my puppy here. So take a short pet break here. So anyway, yeah, so I did my Nihongo no Nikki like every day, and I really enjoyed that, and I am continuing it, but I'm doing it slightly different, and I put on my Instagram how I'm changing that for 2024, and it's not going to be a journal entry every day. Instead, what I'm doing is I am watching an episode from a reality TV show, and I'm doing the same episode every day for a week before switching to another episode. And some of those days I'm watching with Japanese subtitles, and some of those days I'm watching one of those days I'm watching with English subtitles, but the rest are with Japanese subtitles or with no subtitles at all. And I'm writing in a spiral bound notebook all the like various phrases that they're saying that I just want to jot down, and at the end of the week I go through and I pick some of the phrases and I put them in my new Nihongo no Nikki. All right, let's try this angle a little bit. The sun is being insane right now. So one thing I was doing a lot in 2023, and I do want to continue. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, but I've been doing like reading reels on Instagram. And basically, So I was starting off using the Japanese short stories book, and reading passages from that. Sometimes it would take several videos to get through them because those videos needed to be like a minute long to go on Instagram. And I could have made them longer, but I want to make them so that they fit in my stories. So because of that, I kept them to 1 minute long. And so a lot of times it took a couple weeks for me to get through a full story in the Japanese short stories book. And so anyway, that was a lot of fun, and it started off really rough, and maybe I'll put in some clips of me reading from my Instagram, and yeah, but if you're interested in seeing those, just definitely visit my Instagram and see those on my profile. So yeah, and I really want to continue doing that. It switched a little bit. I went from the Japanese short stories to then doing some card readings from Japanese like tarot and oracle cards that I was getting, because that's one of my hobbies and interests is tarot and things like that. So I like to combine hobbies. And so I got a few different decks, and I started doing some reading reels where I was pulling a card and reading like a passage from the book that would be in Japanese. And yeah, so that's on my Instagram. I started off really poorly, and I don't think I improved a whole lot, but I really tried, and I hope this year I'll be even better. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably try to do a few more short stories and things like that as well, and also some card readings and blah blah blah. So speaking of speaking, I also did one really cool thing where I joined a Japanese speaking group, and we meet we try to meet like once a month, it seems. But sometimes it's a little bit longer. It depends. And it's kind of a Zoom meeting or something like that, or Google Meets, where we just talk in Japanese. But it's conversing and things like that. And I only have done one of them so far, and what an experience that was. I really tried to prepare for it because it's a lot of speaking off the cuff in Japanese, which I am not proficient at all. And I made lots of mistakes, but I wrote down a lot of different phrases because the theme was food, and so I wrote down anything that I could think of that pertained to food, and what I like and things like that. And so I have I wrote a whole thing on that, and I did the best I could, but yeah, I definitely made some mistakes, and those meetings were supposed to just be in Japanese, but there were several times that I broke and said stuff in English because I didn't know how to say it. Yeah, and but some things were said very off the cuff, like my age, saying my age, and I had to repeat it a few times because I don't think they understood what I was saying. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and it was nerve-wracking, but yeah, I'm hoping to do one of those again soon. And for 2024, I would also like to do some speaking through like italki or HelloTalk or one of those services, something like that, and I might try to schedule out some time to do those sorts of things. So as far as like reading goes, for like intensive reading, extensive reading, things like that, I've been intensively reading Yotsuboto, and I was using one YouTuber's playlist, which he hasn't completed it. So once he was done once I got to his last video, I had to go on my own. But I was using one YouTuber's walkthrough of Yotsuboto for help. And of course, I will try to remember to put a card pop-up to his channel. Yeah, and I'm not that far, like, I have the book here. I've gotten this far in, so actually pretty far for me, especially considering that I'm going through and writing down everything and translating everything and looking everything up. So yeah, so that's my intensive reading is Yotsuboto, and I'm really excited about this, but I also read an entire manga completely in Japanese for extensive reading, and it's a beginner's book, so it's not going to seem impressive to a lot of people, but it's impressive to me, and I'm someone that really struggles with reading. Even in English, reading is something that's very difficult for me. And I don't know if I have like a learning disability or something like that, but I find reading, especially reading fiction, to be very difficult for me. So I don't normally read fiction books in general. Reading one book a year is even an accomplishment for me because it's very difficult for me to read. So I was extremely proud of myself that I read all of Doraemon. And yeah, the first book here, book 0. So I read the entire book, and I'm so proud of myself, and I'm gonna try not to get teary-eyed here. Yeah, I didn't, of course I didn't understand like everything. I didn't even understand most of it, but I understood some of it. And I read a book. I read a book in a completely different language, in a completely different writing style than English, and I'm just really proud of myself. So yeah, trying not to get all teary-eyed about this, but it is something that I'm very proud of, and so I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit and say, look, I read a book. I read a book in Japanese. So yeah, and for 2024, I have another manga to read. This is Mix. Yeah, so it looks like it's about baseball. So I got this book and 2 others in Box of Manga, which is a subscription service, and they send you a box of 4 manga like every month. Of course, I'm skipping a bunch of months because I knew it was going to take me forever to get through these books, and it took many months to get through this. I think it was like 6-7 months that it took me to get through this, and it's just a simple little book, but yeah, it took me quite a long time to get through this, so I skipped every month, but I am going to go ahead and get the next box in probably February. But anyway, so that is this one. I'm gonna try to extensively read this one, and yeah, and I got a few more books too, which I'll go through in another video, where sort of like all the books that I got from Amazon Japan. So my nighttime routine, that is the time that I do my formal studies. So each week I pick a book that I'm working from. So in 2024, I'm gonna be continuing Yotsuboto. So one week I might do all Yotsuboto at night, and the next week I might do Kanji from 02, which I also have here. So Kanji from 02 is the next one that I'm working in. I've already done some of it in 2023, like right at the tail end. But yeah, so one week I might do all Kanji from 02 during my nighttime studies. Or I've got one more week left in Mina no Nihongo, so I'm going to do the last week that I've got for this. And then I also do a week where I'm just doing all new Wanikani kanji, so there's that. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and I started doing that routine, my nighttime routine, probably around June. And so it's been several, like 7 months or so that I've been doing that routine, and I'm definitely going to continue it. And I really enjoy my nighttime studies. I come up here at the kitchen table, and my husband sits over there and he does his sort of studying, projects that he's working on, and I do my studying at this spot here. And yeah, so it's a nice little bonding time for us as well. So he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, but we're right there together and spending that time together. So yeah, so, and I'm definitely continuing that for 2024, that same sort of thing. So each week is one focus, and I do that at night. So every day I do Duolingo twice, in the morning and in the evening. I do my kanji app. I review Wanikani, and I watch an episode of Terrace House, and write down that stuff in my new Nihongo no Niki. So that is kind of my daily schedule. And I keep my weekends open, except for doing Duolingo, of course, because I do that every day. So yeah, so that is my plan there. And I will probably start focusing a bit more on speaking and reading and really understanding in preparation for the JLPT in December. So that's, you know, that's my plan. That's what I'm striving for, and we'll see how it goes. And I'm also going to be doing more reading reels. I just haven't started doing those again yet, but they're on the list for me. Yeah, so I'm going to do more reading reels. I'm going to try to do more speaking. And I do watch YouTube videos too in Japanese. A lot of them having to do with subjects that I'm interested in. And so I do watch a lot of different, like, card reading YouTubers, Japanese YouTubers. I watch those. Some of those can be quite long though, so I try to stick with ones that are like under 20 minutes. So the ones that are like over an hour long, I can't really do, because I watch YouTube on double speed. I can't really do a lot of YouTube that's on normal speed. I watch almost everything on double speed. So I have to, but when it comes to the Japanese videos, because I'm still learning Japanese, I kind of have to watch it on single speed, on normal speed. And so I try to stick with ones that are 20 minutes or less for that reason. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention this. I also started doing a flashcard system in 2023. Near the end, it was like 3 months or so at the end of 2023. There was a flashcard system that I was using, and I did really like it, but near the end I started to fall off my using of them and studying them and things like that. So I do want to pick that back up, but I think I might do something a little bit different for 2024, and I haven't decided quite yet what I want to do for my new flashcards. Okay, so that's everything. That's like my plans for 2024 and what I did in 2023. And yeah, so if you've made it this far and listened to me jabber on and move my camera a million times because of the light changes, it's changing again right now. Thank you, and I will talk to you next time.